Welcome back. This is episode 14 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. It's going to be a bit of a different one today. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I have played a few cycles off camera, and I've kind of determined that I'm going to do two projects that are going to be completed sort of alongside each other. One of them, I'm building a cooling brick. And this is going to be my cooling solution indefinitely. It will be here. I've determined that it's going to go here purely because, to be honest, I don't know why I've picked here. But I'm confident that it was a good decision. I'm going to put some aqua tuners in here. I'm going to put some steam turbines up here. And I'm going to have some water down here that's going to keep all of this polluted water. I'm going to fill this with polluted water, which I'm doing now. And these are going to be my cooling loops. The other project I am working on is taming this natural gas geyser / vent, should be vent. I am basically going to turn this into a second power source. It will technically be the primary power source because really we want this running before the coal gets used. But yeah, this is kind of what we're working on as well. So I'm building a big polluted water tank here. Obviously, I'll have to sweep everything up and dig everything out, and it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. But never mind, it'll get done. So I'm working on two different things, which is particularly challenging for recording a video because I don't know what I should show you more. Whether I should show you the cooling bit or the natural gas geyser bit. So I'm going to kind of just do both. I'm going to be cutting in and out quite often. Otherwise, you're going to have no idea what's happening. But yeah, I suppose I'll start with the cooling brick. So my vision for this, and this will be stolen off Reddit or YouTube or somewhere else. Prefacing, this is not my idea. Effectively, this top bit will delete the heat. This middle bit will generate the heat, and this bottom bit will keep cool. And I will run the cooling loop just through using these liquid reservoirs, and I'll keep cold polluted water in there. Obviously, it's hot at the moment. The way I'm going to cool it down, I'm going to fill this with water, whether it'll be full of water. In fact, it's going to have to be full of water. And then I'm going to find a way to pump out / cool that water. So actually, with a bit of reflection, this needs to be slightly larger. So we just build that in there. But I'm going to have to vacuum it all out as well, which is going to be a pain in the arse. Yeah, I mean, this is a really big job. This room's going to be for the heat sources, so I'm going to have aqua tuners in there. One of the aqua tuners will be dedicated almost entirely to cooling down the water in the water tank. And then another aqua tuner might be for cooling down the coolant in my metal refinery down here. But whether that's actually necessary or not with this little setup I've got, I think I'm still going to run a cooling pipe down here, otherwise it's going to get really hot very quickly, and it's just not great. It's just difficult. Difficult to work with, and it seems sort of a little bit needless having it hot. So I'm just going to try and cool that down. We've also, off-camera, automated this, the glossy Draco Ranch and the Draco Ranches. Effectively, it just picks up all of the phosphorite, puts it in the loader. It picks up everything as well, except plastic. Actually, why have I not got plastic on? Let me just set plastic on that as well. But effectively, it just takes the phosphorite and drops it where it's needed, which is the Weezwatts, and it's needed here to cool down the oxygen to a temperature where I'm happy with it being put in the base. It's still a little bit hot, so actually I'm going to drop in another Weezwatt. I mean, 5 Weezwatts feels slightly overkill, truth be told, but it's fine. I can live with it, truthfully. I've got temp shift plates in there as well, so it should be fine. In fact, I could probably put some water in there, couldn't I? Could I? Suppose I could. I can't get in there. Maybe one for another day. But, yeah, perfect. So effectively, this is now... Everything is kind of working as it should be. We've got Atmo suits here just for getting into the cold biome because we want to maintain the temperature. We've got the thermal nullifier, which is really good for cooling stuff down, but I don't think I'm going to use it because I think our cooling solution, this big cooling brick, is kind of a step ahead of that anyway. We've got printables. I'll take the steel for good measure. But yeah, it's a bit of a funny one because I'm kind of just going to be like going between the two projects. The other project that I'm working on, this natural gas geyser, effectively I need to get rid of all the polluted water first, which is going to be a chore in itself. I'm going to put it in this big polluted water tank here because I'm going to have the natural gas generators here, and then I will have a cooling loop from my cooling system, which is exactly how we've ended up in this predicament where we're working on two different things at once, mainly because I can't really have one without having the other. So yeah, I'm going to have all of this filled with polluted water, which will be probably about 40-50 degrees. I will have the natural gas generators here. I'm probably going to go for 3. I'm probably going to have my gas reservoirs here as well, and then I'm going to box this part out and effectively have a big room with all of the natural gas in it. I'll have to vent all of this out as well and double liquid lock it for temperature regulation, but as I say, it shouldn't be that hot anyway. Oh, never mind, it does output really hot. So yeah, keeping an eye on that. But food is getting worse. Getting worse quickly at that as well. These guys should be dying soon. Never mind. They should be dying, but they're not. How are we looking? Making sure we're picking everything up. Yeah, maybe it's just a bit of a lull. I mean, we've got loads of eggs. As I say, it'll just be a case... Oh, actually, priorities. I changed the priorities, didn't I? My chef, Stinky. I want him on very high. Yeah, I also added a hydrogen overflow, mainly because our electrolyzer is producing so much hydrogen, it can't feed anything. It can't feed the vents because... Is it even connected to the grid? It's not. I wonder then, could I connect that to the grid if I just did something like this? Yeah, shall actually. And then if I just disconnect. Snip. Snip. Ha 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 ha. No. Oops. Reconnect. Reconnect, please. That was a bit dicey. Woo. Let me just run them down here. And then disconnect those ones. I'll just set that a priority. We'll say 8 because I'd quite like this done now. So we can actually burn through some of the hydrogen. Otherwise we're going to have just loads of it by the end. But yeah, in terms of oil, if you've been playing this game a while, you will have been aggressively shouting at me when I was trying to sweep everything up. This shit is so hot, it will just completely kill the thermal makeup of the base, which is why I've elected to not sweep up, and I'm going to build a storage solution here that will likely, once the cooling system's up, cool everything down. So yeah, as you can kind of tell, everything is depending on the cooling system going well, and the natural gas geyser is going to it's going to support power for the cooling system. Why are they just... Can we do that now, please? I'd quite like to get that done. But yeah, as I say, like, things are okay for now. Nothing's overloading just yet. Yeah. As I say, I'll have to disconnect that as soon as they've built in the rest of the conductive wire. Because, again, doing this, I'm trying to get this done to a point where it doesn't have much downtime. And I think we're kind of there now. But yeah, I mean, we've got so much hydrogen as well. And this loops back in off the original reservoir. Just loops straight back into our hydrogen loop when it can. And then we have an overflow, which is currently just going to collect. And I've put that in the ranches because they're still stables with the gas reservoirs in. So it's just an effective use of space, but it's not particularly necessary. Like, they don't have to be there. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, I'll continue working on this, but it felt weird not sharing what I'm getting up to. God, that sounds vain. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to fill this room with water and kind of just do a bunch of other jobs, and that'll be that, really. There's not a whole lot else I can add or say. But I think, in fact, it's probably time to turn this off. That's fine, yeah. But we should have... I mean, we've got so much water there. I could just siphon some of that off, actually, for that room. And I could use that pipe, the already existing pipe. Build that in there. Can I just connect those pipes? I mean, this should be like... There we go. Sweet. Okay. So we're going to use this pipe. Now, I don't think this will mess with our electrolyzer. Because if it does, I'm going to be fuming. If I can just get that built sooner rather than later. Yeah, as I say, like, everything's kind of going smoothly. Which is why I'm kind of setting up for the late game. I want to obviously end up doing space and rocketry and that kind of stuff. But obviously, to do that, I need to ensure that I have, you know, quality foundation. And I'm not going to have a quality foundation if I don't get cooling and power sorted. And when I say sorted, I mean sustainably sorted, rather than sorted the way we have it sorted now. Because we do have it sorted, but it's in a position where it'll not last forever. And it, you know, one day it's going to need to last forever. So we can now connect that up and disconnect that. And then, yeah, we should be in a good spot for this, and this will fill that room slowly. As I say, I want this room full of just water. Oh, please, can we build that tile now? Have I got igneous rock? I was having some issues with igneous rock. No, not anymore. I truthfully, I don't know where they came from, because we should have loads of it. And we do. But I think once we've kind of got the foundations of our stuff set up, and we're definitely on for slate wheat as well. As soon as this geyser starts going, I will imagine I'll be a hell of a lot more motivated to get the farm set up for it. But it shouldn't really be that difficult anyway. I might use lead. Yeah, I'm going to use lead. It's going to be a pain in the arse cooling this down, like primarily cooling it down, but like I don't think that's necessarily a horrendous thing. Just pop them in like that. Have I got room for one more? No. But I'll put the radiator in there anyway. So effectively what these and I appreciate this is sidetracked, but I'll do it anyway, why not? These are slate wheat farms need to be 2 tiles high. So, well, you only really need 1 tile for slate wheat, but I like having them 2 tiles so my duplicates can get in and out and whatever else. Auto sweepers and such. These are just too big for auto sweepers, so I'm actually going to cut them off. Basically, the metal tiles are going to conduct the electricity, the temperature, and make sure that we are cool in this box, effectively. I'm going to have hydroponic tiles delivering water. The water we'll get from, well, it'll just be from the polluted water. I'll just move that through to there. It will have to be cooled first. No, it won't actually, because it's already coming in cold. So I will literally run the water through the metal tiles into a water sieve. Then there is a concern that it might come out slightly too hot. So it might get run, actually, here we go again, through our cooling loop. So we'll put an aqua tuner, probably 2 aqua tuners in there, and just run that straight back through. And that will be sort of fine. All goes well, but we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And we're just kind of waiting on some little tiny bits to be done. I mean, this is kind of already done. So I'll probably just kind of move all of this polluted water about. So anyway, I'm going to cut, and I will sort of jump back in when it's in a bit more of a workable position. So yeah, I'll catch you then. Okay, so we'll jump back in. I have put down what I'm calling the foundations of the gas piping. So I've put down the natural gas generators. I've put down a reservoir for natural gas. Hopefully this picks up more than that. And that's venting the carbon dioxide to space rather than to the slicksters, because at the moment I don't have enough to the point where I'm, thinking that it's going to be particularly valuable letting them vent, venting the carbon dioxide down here. But I have hollowed out the rest of the natural gas geyser and the appropriate shite around it, and I'm getting rid of the polluted water. I have built a polluted water box, and this is going to be where all of the polluted water is stored from now on. I'm also having some slight issue with the the polluted water tank that we've got for our electrolyzer setup. It is producing polluted water at a rate where I physically cannot contain it, and as such we have created a new box, and we're basically just going to fill it with polluted water to avoid any unnecessary build-up. Effectively, that's all I've done. In terms of our cool box and our sort of long-term cooling solution, we're kind of getting there. This is all going to have to be vacuumed out. I'm aware of that. The reason that I'm vacuuming all of this out, because this box won't need to be vacuumed out because I'm going to fill it with water. This box will need to be vacuumed out because it's going to need to be filled with a little bit of water for steam, and the top box should be fine not to vacuum out. But then again, if I am connecting them up, should I connect them up? That's a good question, actually. I might need another liquid lock there. I think provisionally we'll say we'll not connect them up, and then if we have to connect them up later, we can. In terms of our what's going on with these guys, you might be wondering, what the hell? These are full of polluted water. This is our preferred coolant because it is thermally decent at conducting. It's not too bad, and the range is forgiving. It's not going to boil, it's not going to freeze, so it's going to be quite useful. And I'm basically going to keep that in a tank full of cool water, and that'll sort of regulate itself with a thermal aqua tuner using this pump as well. So it's got a pump up here and come out there, and that will be fine. All goes well. We're having... Things are taking a while, truth be told. I'm not particularly sure why things are taking as long as they are taking. I think we could probably do with another few dupes, but I'm not comfortable yet, because I mean our food situation is, it could be better, it could be worse. We're waiting for all of these hatches to kind of die off, because these hatches really shouldn't have been born. And I've got this incubator disabled, so I'm hoping that these 3 will sustain our population. But I could always add another ranch or 2, depending on how we get on. But I'm more keen to get this vent/geyser going. We are having a slight polluted oxygen issue. I have built up what is a gas filter. it's interesting how it works. I suppose I can explain this. Effectively, rather than having a gas filter that takes power, if you set up a gas element sensor, a NOT gate next to a vent, and automate them, when this detects natural gas, it will send a green signal. I'll actually set that to now. Natural gas, it'll send a green signal. This NOT gate will effectively invert it, making it a red signal, which will enable the gas vent. So basically, disable it, sorry. Yeah, red signal disables the gas vent, and as such, it will flow through the pipe and into our generators. When it is not natural gas and it's something else, the vent will be open, it will just vent off. And that's a really low power solution because, I mean, it uses virtually nothing and no resources either, so it's great. This is all going to need to be vacuumed out, and it's going to take fucking ages, and I'm very aware. Because I'm going to have one little gas pump, and it's gonna have to work its socks off. We've got a fair bit of natural gas there, but until we kind of get the bulk of it out, it's not going to be much use. But I mean, to be fair, the reason I haven't started yet, all of this polluted water can still off-gas. And currently it's not off-gassing because the pressure in here is so high. When I start vacuuming it, if I start it now while there's a lot of polluted water there, it will just vent. The polluted water will just off-gas polluted oxygen to replace what I'm venting out. And I just don't want to have to deal with that. I'd rather just wait. So yeah, I mean, as I say, it's been a long time, really. This is gonna have to fill all the way up as well, which isn't ideal. I'm not gonna fill it like all the way up. I'll probably go 3 tiles and then a little bit more, because this liquid vent still needs to work, really. Otherwise, it'll just back up and get hot. But yeah, I mean, things are kind of good at the minute. I'm just conscious to not like starve. So yeah, I'm actually just, for the interest of not like starving, I'm gonna build another ranch. But again, I mean, you don't have to say this shite. Well, I do. Worth letting you know that I am doing it though. And they're gonna get. I mean, they get on that so quickly. Yeah, as I say, it's not like I mean, you say me build. This is probably like my 4th or 5th time doing this. You know what this looks like. You know how it goes. It's a shame they can do this so fucking quickly, but nothing else. But as I say, it's kind of just a waiting game now for everything else to get done. So I'm not wholly surprised. It's if you watched my big clean video, you will understand that one of the main benefits that we are benefiting from now, it's kind of good that we've not got a lot on, because it means that they can catch up on all of the cleaning shit that they've been putting off because I've been telling them not to. I wanted them to build. Now they've got the time to clean up after themselves and do whatever, and that's kind of good. That's objectively good news. It is obviously a shame that we're having to wait so long, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, really. Again, I'm going to drop some deodorizers in here purely because they this room off gases like nothing I've ever known. It's all the slime. It just stinks, and they don't like it. See, I don't know, it's fine. Which is fair enough, I think. It's part of Sage Hatches, I suppose, and the other side of it is it's much better that these guys eat it and it's all in the one spot than wasting it on just sitting there, really. And then if we do the same thing there we go. I mean, that was fucking very quickly built there. I didn't even have to cut to build that. So as you can see, we're getting somewhere. But it is just a case of waiting at the moment for this to sort itself out. I think there is room to expand into this biome, but I don't want to. There is if that's a hydrogen vent, actually. Oh. Now, I'm not gonna go from there. I'm gonna go from here, and I'm gonna probably. I should build another liquid lock. Yeah, so I'll build another liquid lock here. Again, reason I'm doing this, I'd quite like to maintain the gas pressures and makeup in this part of the base. because I've worked so hard to make sure that it's all oxygen. Yeah, I can see that it's polluted, and I'm aware, and they're in atmosuit anyway. But I don't know. This is a very easy expansion into sort of our base. Once all of this is polluted, oxygen is converted. And I've been up this biome and whatever else, and it's probably more like 3 biomes if I draw a big line there and whatever else, right? Doesn't particularly matter. This can be incorporated. It's all a decent temperature. This natural gas stuff, I'd prefer that wasn't. So I'll probably build another liquid lock up here for good measure. But regardless, it's on, if you know what I mean. Like, it's relatively fair game getting at work. And so I'll just drop in a bottle empty, fill probably petroleum just for good measure. Because I should have a fair amount of petroleum. Also, this room has filled with polluted oxygen. I believe it is just from opening this manual airlock on a very slim occasion. We are also, I mean, this industrial biome is now like super big. It's very carbon heavy, which is fine. As I say, I can work with carbon heavy. That's kind of why we did it. But again, stressing the importance of having a liquid lock. I'm not bothered about temperature transfer, but I am bothered about gas makeup. This is a lot of carbon dioxide to waste, primarily. As we've got slicksters, they kind of look after themselves. And it's also, you just don't want to have to deal with all that shit and put in a gas pump or whatever. As I say, worth having liquid locks where you can. But yeah, I mean, this is virtually getting there. What is he just fucking stuck? No, he's fine. I mean, that's fine as well, isn't it, really? Yeah. I'll tell you what, we'll just get them to do. This is busy work for them, I'm aware. But I've got nothing else for them to do, really, which is, of the problems to have, I'd probably prefer to have this one, really. Like, it's all right. They're quiet, and all they've got to do is really like tidy up and stuff. I'd quite like that to be, if we have a cycle or a day when all they have to do is tidy up, and I'm having to find jobs for them to do, things are going well. As long as they're not like dying or anything, which they're not. Food's for, yeah, well, as I say, I'm literally just waiting for this to get up, and then we can get the second power source going. I'd like them to adventure and see what this is, because if this is a hydrogen vent, which we won't know, if it's a hydrogen vent, that's really good news, because that is potentially a third power source, which will probably be on a lot of the time, because I'd much prefer that we run hydrogen generators than anything else. These things are great. The other thing that we're running will have... So, I don't want to jinx it, but if this is a hydrogen vent, we're going to have natural gas power, which is free, hydrogen power, which is free, backup power of coal power, which, given our ranching situation, we would effectively need to run out of rocks. And just for demonstration purposes, we've barely even touched the sides of the map. But we'd have to run out of all of that rock we haven't touched. And only at that point would we begin to run out of coal. And I'm confident by that point I can probably think of something else to fix by then. Let me wrangle the sage hatchlands. Yeah, just wrangle them all, fuck it, and hope that it works fine. As I say, these things are free. What's happening with this? Steve's on it. Do I just let that... I think that is a liquid lock. So I'm just going to get started. Because as I say, I don't care massively about the integrity of that liquid lock. Obviously, I'd like it to be solid and not go bang. But if it does go wrong, it's not the end of the world. It's not like... I suppose the term is mission critical. It's like, it's not going to end our run if that liquid lock breaks. Whereas if that one broke early on, that would have been bad. But never mind. We'll have some more barbecue, that's nice. Yeah, not particularly interested in bringing another dupe in just yet, purely because I'd quite like to get power sorted first, because I'm conscious that as much as power is sorted, and I can just keep throwing coal generators at it, the middle game of Oxygen Not Included is primarily about building sustainably and getting into, instead of having food that it is unsustainable, needs resources, whatever, you kind of want to make sure that it can do it itself. Which is, I suppose, why Sleep Wheat's good. I think Sleep Wheat does need dirt, though. Ranching needs rocks, and you can get rocks from magma if you want, or whatever, but it's a bit naff. I'd also quite like to tame the copper vent when I get there, but a bit early for that. I think we need to get the cooling solution sorted first, but here we go. Whenever they come over here, well, he said if I just get them to cancel that, we're going to be like, never mind, he's changed his mind. Maybe who's on this? Steve. What's Steve doing? He's eating. Great. Fantastic. Okay. I mean, our skills are really good, by the way. Also, slightly unrelated, but like, our skill points, I've not really been investing them, because it's like, well, can't really be bothered. But I mean, oh, Turner. Can Turner can crack on with, what is it? Oh, it's a bit of light shit. Yeah, we're going to need Steve for that, but never mind. How are we looking at it? Yeah, as I say, I've been, my upload schedule, I've been uploading for 2 weeks, by the way, guys, so there was never a schedule, but what was my schedule was pretty much daily. That is gone, purely because there is no chance that I can sit and watch this natural gas vent and the polluted water get pumped out all day long, because it's taking so long. But as I say, it'll be good once it's done, and that's kind of where I'm at with this. Same for the tank. I am probably going to end this video before all of this gets done, so apologies. This is going to be kind of like a two-parter, which makes me feel ill. Because who wants to watch a two-parter? Yeah, you're going to have to get over it, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I mean, it's just going to be too long while waiting for this, and I've been chatting shit and whatever, so here we go. Oh, bollocks, right. Steam vent. Good a time as any to talk about a steam vent, I suppose. These things are like poison. I want this nowhere near my base. This will kill my colony. These things put out steam. I suppose, actually, good time to talk about the difference. Over here we have a steam vent. You'll notice that I haven't done anything with this steam vent because I have deemed it insignificant. This outputs steam at 110 degrees. That is hot. And I should have boxed it in, but because I'm lazy and, you know, it's not exactly in a bad position. It's 2 liquid locks away from my base. It's next to a hot place anyway. I deem this not worth looking at. 110, yeah? You look at this guy, 500 degrees. This thing, if I don't have a cooling system in place by the time I come to tame this, truth be told, I'm probably not going to tame this. I'm just going to let it sit in this box for ages, because it is going to get so hot so quickly, it's just pointless me looking at it. So all of that shite I was talking about, the hydrogen vent and having a third source of power, nope. I could make a geothermal source of power from the steam vent, I suppose. But again, I don't want to have to do that yet. Just simply put, because it's going to need more than I'm ready for, and the cooling solution that I've got at the moment is not yet built, because that's what I was supposed to do this video. But I mean, we're kind of like... I suppose I'll record for maybe another 10 minutes, and we'll see how we go. We'll start like vacuuming this out. Hopefully, I can show you that this is working. Yes, that's venting out there, and I've got a deodorizer there, but I don't know if that one little deodorizer is going to be enough. But yeah, as I say, like it's not having such an impact where I'm like, well, we need to intervene. And I'm going to build another hatch ranch as well, because why not? I suppose they're pretty much free anyway at this point, and it's free food, free whatever. How are we looking for food? Yeah, I mean, we're not looking too bad, and we've got loads of hatches here. And we're looking down here. 5 critters, right? Well, that as I say, the population will level itself out a little bit, but we'll just do that and that, and there we go. And they're going to get to work on doing that, and that'll keep them busy while I wait for this to fully empty, because we're pretty much there. Truthfully, it is a real shame about that steam vent. That's not great news, but never mind. Yeah, the coal situation. We're making coal by the ton. Are we looking for plastic? Because plastic should be looking... Yeah, we've got 21 tons of plastic. So we could probably look into transit tubing. I'm not going to, because it's very energy heavy, and at the moment, our energy situation is not looking good. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's not great either. And I'd quite like it to be great before I start doing any major changes. Aye. And we'll just drop in there. And we'll just drop in there. And this is just a copy and paste job. I don't think it's needlessly complex, but I suppose I can talk while I do it. But yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, because it's taken a lot longer than I thought it would to sort out all of these things. Again, apologies, it's not all gone in one video. If it were up to me, it would be, but it's not, so get over it. Yeah, as I say, it's just how it's gone with these things. It's taken a while. If I can copy settings, and this will be a stable once that gets built, and I'll have them. I mean, that's frustrating as well, but never mind. I'll need to build a little ladder up to there, or else I'm gonna start a new power line from this again, just because it's I don't want to overload it, and I don't want to run the heavy watt wire around, so I'm just literally just dropping in a new power line. You have seen me do this probably hundreds of times now. Sweet. Yeah. As I say, I'm going to continue working. I will continue to upload. I've not just stopped completely. I suppose this is more like a bit of a filler. And when I come back, I'll probably be a few cycles ahead, to be honest. I'm not going to come back and show you all. The only reason I've uploaded this one, because I've recorded it. The next one I'm probably going to hold off recording. But no, thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it if you have. Also, if you haven't, I don't know why I'm saying that, because if you can hear me now, you have. So thank you. Yeah, no, I'll catch you in the next one. I don't know when it'll be. It might be a little while, while I still figure out what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, no. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-ra.